Islands in the Caribbean could be the first to feel Irma's wrath.
The governor of Puerto Rico has already declared a state of emergency, activating the National Guard there. And our Washington, D.C. Bureau Chief Ross Palumbo, he's wearing a different hat today. He's traveled there to San Juan to keep us informed. Ross, joining us live. How is it there?
Well, Lauren Calvin, well, the president is still involved in this one, though. As you say, the governor declaring a state of emergency and asking the president to also declare an emergency here. So far, Donald Trump has not. How does it look here at this point? Well, relatively calm, actually. You're looking west right now, back towards Miami. A few clouds in the sky, but nothing ominous. The sun is peeking through and some waves gently rolling in. And down here at the pool at the Condado Plaza, there are even people still having a drink. In fact, if you look at the roadway in front of the hotel, people are still driving through and walking about. But I want to point out something here at the North Tower. They are now beginning evacuations and getting people out of that part of the hotel and moving them into the South Tower where we are, just to make sure that they are safe. And look at this area over here, still under construction. Construction workers are still working, even though Irma is on the way and apparently making no preparations. That scaffolding looking mighty precarious at this hour. Above it, you are looking east towards where Irma is coming from. Clouds in the skies, but those waves practically non-existent, at least at this point. But there are signs of panic and a little concern in other parts of the city. In fact, take a look at the airport we just flew into about an hour and a half ago. Already people are packing in there, trying to get off the island, trying to get back to Miami or other destinations in the Northeast. In fact, American Airlines has added more flights to make sure people can get out before these winds pick up. We talked to a few tourists. Take a listen. Category 5 hurricane is going. What are your thoughts? Were you worried or what?
Very worried.
We were.
Jeez. Yeah, we're trying to get the heck out of here.
I was really worried because we had both lived in the South. We lived in New Orleans and Florida. So yeah, it got me nervous.
So you're trying to get out earlier now because
yes.
of that?
Absolutely.
Yes,
no, we came here specifically to find out what our options were because we don't have access to the TV.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knows anything. Everybody in Puerto Rico is like, oh, it's going to pass over.
They're very laid back about it. Yeah.
They have no idea.
Well, people in Puerto Rico do have an idea. They know a Cat 5 could be heading directly towards them. So the situation a little more critical at the grocery stores. We stopped by a Walmart to get some supplies a little while ago. Look at this. It was jammed. The biggest issue already is that water is in short supply. In fact, so far we couldn't find any. So we're here in a Walmart and in the early afternoon. You can see some of the shelves here are already empty. Look at the crowd, in fact, back here behind me. And this is only at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon today. There's so much flying off the shelves that these stockers like this guy right down on aisle 5 just struggling to keep up. But perhaps the biggest problem right now at this hour is take a look at this over here. In this aisle, this is the only aisle that this entire Walmart usually has water. That's what it says on the sign. But if you walk down here, all you see is empty shelves on this side. All they have left at this point is soda. Here is usually where the water is. Nothing on the shelf here. And over here, even the bread is starting to run out. And keep in mind, this is still 24 hours before this hurricane will seriously start hitting this island.
Here, we've been through a lot.
Do you feel that everyone you know is taking this more seriously than usual?
I think this time they are because, it's a really big storm. They're really taking it serious this time.
Everyone is taking it more seriously. The governor has already declared a state of emergency. They have 456 shelters here on the island in Laurie and Calvin. Already 160 of them have opened up. The governor urging anyone who is in a situation where they believe is precarious to go in now ahead of the storm. FEMA already on the ground here with more than 400 people, including search and rescue units, specialized medical units. They were already setting up to deal with the fallout from this storm. They've already brought in some 600,000 liters of water, 290,000 meals, Laurie and Calvin. And that is just the beginning. They believe actually that the Virgin Islands, of course, will be hit before Puerto Rico. So they're splitting their personnel between the Virgin Islands here and Puerto Rico to make sure that they are evenly covered. But as you can see, people are starting to get prepared, maybe not specifically in the area that we are, but throughout the island, there is a growing concern. Of course, people here are very well acquainted with hurricanes. And when you say Category 5, after what they've seen coming out of Texas with Harvey, you can bet there's plenty of concern to go around.
That has impacted all Americans.